Dr. E.N.G. Marek Gruszecki. Philosophy of Being. Krakow, 2025. My 85th anniversary. Philosophical essay Does God Exist? Krakow, the 19th of April 2025.
Faith versus Science. Part 1. It is often thought that science and faith in God do not go hand in hand. This is, of course, an oversimplification, as evidenced, for example, by non-believers and Christian Nobel Prize winners in physics. They are all great physicists, so what differentiates them is not science, but worldview. The real conflict is not between science and belief in God, but between two worldviews, theistic and atheistic. The worldview tension has existed for a very long time. If we go back to ancient Greece, we meet great thinkers, the founders of atomistic theory, such as Democritus. But in those times there were also thinkers, such as Socrates, who were convinced of the existence of transcendence. They believed that there was something more than matter or energy. In the academic world, we are still dealing with these two worldviews today. The key question is therefore not whether science and religion can be reconciled, but in the direction of which of these worldviews science points. The founders of modern science, such as Copernicus, were men of faith. This is a striking fact of the history of science. Why did people become scientists? Because they expected to find laws in nature and believe in the existence of a lawgiver. From a historical perspective, belief in God not only did not hinder the birth of science, but in fact seems to have been the driving force behind its emergence. Another issue is the nature of explanation. What is scientific explanation? And is God the same kind of explanation that scientific explanation is? Many scientists fail to see that there is more than one level of explanation. They adopt a view called scientism, which assumes that there is only one way to truth, the way of scientific explanation. What we are confronting here are two different levels of explanation. One is scientific explanation, the other explanation in terms of personal desire. These two modes of explanation do not compete with each other. They complement each other. Science has been defined as the observation and theoretical explanation of various phenomena. Science is a method that humanity can use to better understand the universe. It is the search for knowledge through observation and conjecture. Advances in science demonstrate the reach of human logic and imagination. However, a Christian's faith in science should never be like faith in God. Science derives knowledge from experience, while faith derives knowledge from revelation, i.e. Scripture and the teachings of the Church. In both fields, human reason, using logic and certain principles of reasoning, plays a very important role. However, the degree of scientific knowledge and faith are different. Faith versus Science. Part 2. Our faith in God is a placing of trust. Our faith in science should be intellectual, and nothing else. Science has often been wrong about many things throughout history. God has never been proven wrong. Truth is not something for a Christian to fear, so there is no reason for a Christian to fear or hate true science. Learning about the way God built our universe allows all of humanity to appreciate the wonder of creation. Expanding our knowledge helps us fight disease, ignorance, and misunderstanding. However, there is a danger when scientists begin to believe in human logic more than in our Creator. But most rational scientists, even those who refuse to believe in God, recognize a certain lack of completeness in our understanding of the universe. They acknowledge that neither God nor the Bible can be proved or disproved by science, just as many of their favorite theories ultimately cannot be proved or disproved. Science is supposed to be truly neutral. It is supposed to seek only truth, not proof of some picture of the world. God always wanted us to come to Him by faith, not by logic. Much of the scientific evidence confirms the existence of God and His creation. As modern science tells us more about the universe, we find more evidence for creation. The amazing complexity and replication of DNA, the intricacy and interconnectivity of the laws of physics, and the complete harmony of all the chemical conditions and circumstances here on earth all prove the truth of the Bible's message. The Christian should understand the science that seeks truth, but reject the spiritualists of science who hold that human knowledge is above God. Science, in its essence, does not deal with matters of faith. Any scientific discovery or advancement in technology does not enter into faith in any way. Therefore, faith cannot be or must not be investigated by science, because faith is something beyond this world. And here is an interesting quote from a well-known explorer and researcher in the world of science. Blaise Pascal, French intellectual, mathematician, physicist, engineer, inventor, philosopher, theologian, and writer. If you believe, you can gain much, salvation and life after death, and if God were not even there, you lose nothing. If, on the other hand, you do not believe, you risk much, for if God exists, you lose everything. Many believers, as well as many mainstream religious groups, accept the findings of science, including the theory of evolution.
Conclusion. But Jesus, overhearing what was being said, said to the ruler of the synagogue, "Do not be afraid, only believe." Bible, Mark 5 verse 36. It will still be beautiful, despite everything. Just put on comfortable shoes, because you have your whole life to go through. John Paul II. Mathematics in Nature.